After Pakistan Prime Minister Shebaz Sharif exhibited his willingness to hold talks with India, New Delhi has responded. The Ministry of External Affairs today said India wanted neighbourly ties with Pakistan, but there should be an atmosphere free from terror and violence for such a relationship. Arindam Bagchi, the spokesperson for the ministry, said, "We've seen reports regarding the comments by the Pakistan Prime Minister on this issue. India's clear and consistent position is well known that we desire normal relations with all our neighbouring countries, including Pakistan. But for this, an environment free of terror and hostility is imperative." On Tuesday, while addressing the opening ceremony of the Minerals Summit in Islamabad, the Pakistan Prime Minister Shebaz Sharif said, in order to build the nation, he and his government were ready to talk with the neighbours. Of course, Pakistan is seeking engagement also because the country is going through a massive economic crisis. Sharif said, and I quote, "With our neighbours, we are prepared to talk, provided the neighbour is serious about discussing important matters that are on the table, as war is no longer an option. Pakistan is a nuclear power, not as an aggressor, but for our defence purposes. India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars in the last 75 years, and what has happened is that it only generated more poverty, unemployment and lack of resources for the education, health and well-being of the people." Sharif stressed that this is not the right approach. What should be done instead is to fight each other through economic competition in the region. He said, if there is a nuclear flashpoint, who will live to tell what happened? War is not an option. He added that he knows the two countries cannot become normal neighbours unless abnormalities are removed and the serious issues are understood and addressed through peaceful and meaningful discussions. Now, India and Pakistan have had extremely fraught ties since the very beginning, since Pakistan came into existence after India's partition in 1947. India has repeatedly raised its concern over Pakistan's support of cross-border terrorism and asserted that terror and talks cannot go together. Following the Indian government's decision in August 2019 to abolish Jammu and Kashmir's special status and bifurcate it into 2 union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, the Pakistan government, then led by Imran Khan, expelled India's High Commissioner to Islamabad and halted all bilateral trade between the two countries. Shebaz Sharif's second offer of talks has come a little more than 6 months after he made a similar proposal during an interview with Al Arabiya news channel. India and Pakistan have not had any substantial talks since the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. New Delhi has linked any contacts to Islamabad, cracking down on terror. In January this year, Shebaz Sharif had offered to hold talks with India and said he had asked the leadership of the United Arab Emirates to help bring the two countries to the table. Soon after, Islamabad made any discussions conditional to New Delhi restoring the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. The developments in Jammu and Kashmir and a string of terror attacks blamed on Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed, including the 2019 Pulwama terror attack that killed 40 Indian soldiers, brought the two sides close to war and have taken bilateral ties to an all-time low. In December last year, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar had said there would be no compromise on the core issues because no country has suffered from terrorism as much as India. He said New Delhi had been very clear that it will not normalize and rationalize terrorism. He said, "We will never allow terrorism to force us to the negotiating table. We want good neighbourly relations with everybody, but that does not mean excusing or looking away or rationalizing terrorism." He said this without mentioning Pakistan. Now, the Shebaz Sharif government is set to be dissolved a few days from now to pave the way for general elections in Pakistan. It is therefore unlikely that his government or the caretaker administration, which will be formed to oversee the election, will be in any position to conduct any substantial talks with India.
उन्होंने एक जो टिप्पणी की थी, हमने उसकी रिपोर्ट देखे हैं। भारत का पोजीशन आपको मालूम है, क्लियर है, कंसिस्टेंट रहा है, वेल नोन भी है कि हम पाकिस्तान के सहित के साथ अपनी सभी नेबर्स, सिर्फ पाकिस्तान क्यों, बाकी सारे नेबर्स के साथ नॉर्मल नेबरली रिलेशंस चाहते हैं और इच्छुक हैं इसके, पर इसके लिए आतंक और टेररिज्म और पीस हॉस्टिलिटी ये हटना चाहिए और उससे फ्री एनवायरनमेंट चाहिए। तो आतंक और शत्रुता मुक्त वातावरण जरूरी है और मैं इसको फिर दोहराना चाहूंगा। ये पोजीशन कोई नया नहीं है, हम बहुत बार कह चुके हैं और मैं उसे फिर से दोहराना चाहूंगा। मैंने जैसे कहा बाकी सारे नेबर्स के साथ नॉर्मल नेबर रिलेशंस चाहते हैं, इंक्लूडिंग पाकिस्तान। इसी को उन्होंने ही आस्क्ड अबाउट कमेंट्स बाय पाकिस्तान प्राइम मिनिस्टर। We have seen reports regarding comments by the Pakistan Prime Minister on this issue. If we could, India's clear and consistent position on this is well known. We desire normal, neighborly relations with all our neighbors, including Pakistan. For this, an environment free of terror and hostility is imperative.
India there responding to Pakistan's offer of talks, making it clear we want neighbourly relations with everyone, but terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. Time for another quick break here on Global Lens, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, we have the latest for you on the Pope's visit to Portugal.
Gautam Adani, one of the richest men in the world, or a business honcho accused of manipulating the market.
अदानी जी 609 नंबर से दूसरे नंबर तक कैसे पहुंचे? सिर्फ एक सवाल पूछा, नरेंद्र मोदी जी आपका अदानी जी से रिश्ता क्या है?
He has given the space, the railways, the airport, which he has no experience also. So the country's interest has been compromised.